Good morning. I'm Jay Cleveland Payne. Spitting in a wishing well, blown to hell, crash on the last splash. This is things you might have heard for Wednesday, February the 16th, 2022. What we will present for you in the next 15 minutes or so are five news stories that you told us were extremely conversational, worth talking about, that may not have been top line headline news. It may not have been the big lead or the breaking news that broke all day on the cable news shows, but these are stories that you told us based on our research and asking you. And we'll tell you more about how that works out in just a moment. Getting into the stories that you said you loved, you wanted more of. So you can go out on about in your day and talk to people about these stories as conversation starters, or have a little extra knowledge if somebody brings these up. Now, if you want to help out the support what's going on here at headquarters for things you might have heard, it's kind of crass to ask for money up front, but we do that anyway. You can stop by the website buymeacoffee.com/jclevelandpayne, and you can help support us by buying coffees or donations in the form of basic cups of coffee. I want to thank a recent subscriber, a recent donator, Sharon Green, for her donations. Thank you so much for keeping things going, and we want you to want to be a part of it as well. Check it out if you think that this is worth the effort. we'll put forward what's going forward. Let's we're doing a couple things new for the next couple days to try out some new things, so bear with us. If things seem a little weird, reach out to me at J Cleveland Payne in the socials, and we can chat those up as well. Let's go ahead and get into story number one. The first story you can talk about today is this one. Prince Andrew settles sex abuse lawsuit but for Jeffrey Epstein victim Virginia Giuffre. CNBC.com gave us this one because it's all about the money, and that's what turned out this to be. The lawsuit is settled. The whole thing is done legally for the court's view, but this thing's going to reverberate forever. Now, Jeffrey Epstein, of course, who was basically going on trial for all sorts of sex trafficking things, died in prison. Ghislaine Maxwell, his cohort, was convicted of essentially grooming young women for Jeffrey Epstein and his buddies in their trips. Prince Andrew was sued by Virginia Giuffre directly for saying that she was trafficked. She was brought to Prince Andrew as a minor, at 15, I believe, and was using that term for specifically used for acts specifically by Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew said no, it didn't happen. There's lots of kerfuffle going on about this. The Queen literally cut the prince off because of what this turned into, and somehow, some way, Prince Andrew found some funds to pay up, settle out of court. We don't know how much is going to go to Miss Giuffre, or actually to the charities of her choice working on things like domestic violence and human trafficking. But we do know that Prince Andrew paid a big chunk of money for this to sort of go away. We also know these things never actually totally go away. So I'm sure Prince Andrew will be brought back up in similar light for similar things. Another story we can talk about today. Walt Disney World, Disneyland ditching mask requirements for fully vaccinated guests. Hooray for Disneyland and hooray for Walt Disney World. And now you get back to a bit more of a freedom act for your visit. Now, you will have to prove you're fully vaccinated. That's the number one thing. But if you can prove that, because the way we are learning to live with the coronavirus, you can get a chance to see how things are going and in your communities. More people are being more relaxed. More people are feeling better about what's going on. Dominant weird variants of the Omicron and Delta notwithstanding, more people are feeling more comfortable living with the virus as it is because they are vaccinated or doing what they can to do whatever, and they're still masking up and shielding up as well. While Disney World is bringing some of the fun back to the experience by not making you wear a mask all day long if you can prove you're fully vaccinated. There's a reason to keep that card in your pocket, a reason to have the paperwork on you, or prove you gotta walk around with your paperwork for your tests. Yes, this is sort of weird Nazism where they have to show you your papers, but it is kind of what it is. This isn't a true blocking of freedom, but what it is, it's showing that you are being responsible with the situation, agree or disagree with it, that we're living in. Another story we have: Sandy Hook families reach $73 million settlement with gun manufacturer Remington. Remington Arms is going to pay up to the families of Sandy Hook based on that tragedy. CNN.com gave us this one. And if you watched the CNN coverage yesterday, you might have seen Breonna Keeler tear up over the fact that this thing happened. This is a long standing and one of the weirder situations for the mass shootings. This was a elementary school. It was shot up by a grown adult who just was mentally ill. And while there's plenty of blame to go around a lot of places, the thing that made this such a oddity is the fact that so many people claim that Sandy Hook was fake, claim that they were crisis actors. The kids didn't really get killed. The parents are just, people out grifters trying to get money. How someone's gonna, I mean, this is not faking the moon landing in a sound stage. This is real people, real lives. There's way too many people involved in something like this to be faked, and right now there's way too much money involved with this to not take this serious. The gun manufacturer is going to be held liable and will pay back restitution, $73 million. This is the first time that a gun manufacturer has been found capable of being responsible for the actual act. They didn't go shoot up the school. They built the tools to make that happen, and they fostered essentially a lifestyle, if you will, a thought process that having these guns are a good thing. I am so not anti-gun. I live in the South. I've shot all my life. I don't own any actual firearms, but my family does. I just live in the middle of cities. It doesn't make sense to own them in the middle of the city. So I am in no way a basher of Remington Arms or what they manufacture. But this is a totally different, totally unique situation with the Sandy Hook families, and this is more or less restitution, but it doesn't necessarily bring peace to the situation. Move on to the story. Virgin Galactic stock jumps 32% as space flight ticket sales open with $150,000 deposit. CNBC on this one as well. A lot of money in today. It's just how it happens to be. A lot of money going on in today's news stuff. So this is a big deal because Virgin Atlantic is going to send everyone out to space. Yes, everyone's trying to get their own thing. SpaceX is trying to do their own little space taxi, and of course Bezos has Blue Origin. Virgin Galactic was, if not the first one announced, the first one that looked like it was really sort of viable. Their spacecraft doesn't look like a giant penis. It looks like an actual plane looking thing, and they're ready to take regular people into space for the low price of $150K a ticket. Would I pay that? If I had it, I would do it in a heartbeat. So now that the ticket sales are open, the gate is open, and they're really preparing for what's going on. They've had a couple test flights. Of course, Richard Branson on becoming the second billionaire in semi-space because of the Blue Origin flew out 3 days earlier. They're ready to go. They're ready to go, and they're ready to go commercial, not just super rich people, but people who can spare a couple pennies to put it all together. When's the first flight? Not sure yet, but fairly soon we'll get to more stuff from the Virgin Galactic people because they are ready to go. And because of that, big money. If you're holding Virgin Galactic on Monday, on Tuesday, you got a very good deal out of that one. Let's talk real quick about Grammarly. And if you stop by, this is a conversationproject.com/Grammarly. You can get a great deal on Grammarly. It is an app. It is a website. It's a tool. It works on your grammar. As you see in the picture there, great writing simplified. Whatever you're doing, working on a speech, working on a paper, you just write it out, paste it into the Grammarly window on your browser, or you can integrate it with various other apps such as Word. You can click a button and the Grammarly will take over the regular grammar check. It will check your grammar. It will check your spelling. It will check your parts of tense. It will check your APA level. It will take anything you need to do to get tested. It will check for plagiarism. It is a super duper tool to make your writing better. If you need to write on a more higher level, like more college level, like writing papers, it will help you find words with that. If you need to bring it down some, if you're writing more for just personal stuff, more entertainment stuff, it will help you bring the conversation, bring things down. It will help you talk real pretty if you're writing your speeches. It is a great tool, and it is something that once you start using it, you're going to find you don't know how you live without it. Check out thisisaconversationproject.com/Grammarly for a great deal on Grammarly. If you are a writer, if you're a business person who has to write any sort of things, if you are a person who has to communicate in any way, writing or speaking, you might want to give this a shot. This is a thing that could be a game changer to what you have going on. This is also an affiliate link. So if you do subscribe via Grammarly through our link, we get a little bit of kickback and we thank you for it. But you are going to love the app on its own. It is, of course, Grammarly. One more story that you told us was conversational. Super Bowl total viewership tops 112 million for NBC and NFL with LA Rams hometown win. Deadline.com gave us this headline. Subheadline was the fact that the halftime show was the most watched in a long, long time, which I'm sure you know that because you probably watched it. And even if you said you hated it, you probably watched the whole thing. The Super Bowl itself was a great viewing and literally up from last year, which was odd because it was Kansas City versus Tampa Bay in Tampa Bay is a hard thing to top, but apparently LA was a big thing to get into with all the people worrying about what's going to happen to LA, and actually a lot of people falling in love with the Bengals coming in as being the lovable losers 2 seasons prior to making their way into the playoffs and the finals this year. We will see what happens next year. I don't know where the Super Bowl is being held, but the odds-on favorite is not on the home team. I'm pretty sure the home team. It might be New Orleans again this year. I think it is. We'll check that out. But the rarity of the home team or the team that plays in the home stadium getting a chance to play there, and I believe both the Buccaneers and the Rams were the visiting team per the rules because it's a neutral site, but they got to play in their own stadium, their own locker rooms, stay at their own houses, and it probably makes a difference. So anytime you can get a home field advantage like this in a big game like this, it's probably going to be a big deal for a long time going forward. Now, one more story that we haven't quite got to yet. Actually, it's posted now in our feed, so you may have to back a bit and see this. But this is a story that did not make the cut when we started working on the work for the actual for the report today, and that is this one right here. We're going to get to it once you press a button. I told you extra buttons make things extra hard. Somehow we unshared that screen, so we're going to bring it back to the forefront, and it is a story right here. Rachel Maddow is taking a hiatus from her show, doing some cool stuff, but without Rachel at the helm, and they know it's going to be a while. She's working on a movie and some other things popping up. She's lost nearly a quarter of her viewers in the first week. We'll see how long it takes for more viewers to go or to come back to whomever they have going on. We can't really promote the who's filling in, and those fill-ins aren't necessarily star power fill-ins, then you get some loss. This is a little bit different than what happened with Chris Cuomo when he was fired from Cuomo Primetime. One of the weird things about that was they let Michael Shermer-Kanish host for an extended period of time, mostly because they didn't have to shift anybody off the regular schedules on their news gathering, and he was familiar with the network for being a fill-in host at various times and having his own show on Saturdays. And he basically did the show like a Saturday show. It was a refreshing new bent for it, and it didn't lose a large bit of audience. And of course, when those things happen, you get the, hey, can McConnell take over Cuomo's spot? I don't think he wants it, but that talk was there. Rachel Maddow's not going too far away. There is talk of her doing like a weekend thing eventually and giving up the nighttime show. Right now, this is just a temporary hiatus. And so temporarily, she's not helming the ship. So people who tune in to see Rachel won't tune in because Rachel's not there. If you're tuning in for the hour, then maybe you'll stick around and you'll fall in love with the new guy, new gal. Right now, Rachel Maddow's magic is not there because Rachel Maddow is not there to make the magic, to make the donuts, if you will. So we told you that we're going to tell you about how you can be a part of the whole thing and help out picking the conversational stories. We will do that right now. First off, you can stop by the website, thisisaconversationproject.com, and find more information about things you might not have heard, the Conversation Project, all the things we've been doing for years and trying to make news stories conversational and have great conversations with people around the world about different types of things. Buymeacoffee.com/jcliffandpayne is our main source of revenue, minus all the affiliate ads. Where if you want to be a donor, you want to support the show, go to buymeacoffee.com/jcliffandpayne and give us a donation in the form of essentially the cost of a cup of coffee or a few cups of coffee or coffee subscription. If you think what we've done is good enough, then we appreciate a couple bucks in the coffee cup. Thank you so much. Today we're drinking just straight out black tea, keeping the throat warm and lubricated. So how can you be a part of the whole shebang? Follow us on Facebook at facebook.com/this is the conversation project or Twitter th_ conversation. What you do is those news feeds, those feeds on social media, we post news stories every 50 minutes, brand new stories for you to engage with. So engage with them, like them, love them, hate them, share them. The more you are engaged with the story, the more you engage with the particular tweet or Facebook post, the higher score it gets. On the mornings, we pull them down and we put them in a spreadsheet. We give them a total score, if you will. We rank them from top to bottom. We take the top 15 stories and pick 5 from that range. So you tell us a range of good stories. We find the ones that make a better narrative, if you will. Today we had about 31 stories. We've been really busy. I've been really busy at the day job, coronavirus and all. And so it's been hard to stay consistent with what's going on, but we're doing our best. So out of about 30 stories posted in the last 28 hours or so, we took the top 15, and those stories we picked, we believe, are a great narrative for conversation. You go out there and share them with your friends, and you tell us what it is. You just reply back to me via the socials at @jcliffandpayne, and we can chat that up. Oh, by the way, that little ditty I had at the beginning, teaser song for this morning, was from The Breeders and Cannonball, going way, way back. Not really all that obscure. It was all over MTV back in the 90s. So it's annoying as hell listening to it, but it just popped up. And so that's what we did. If you want to annoy people with an earworm of your own, just reach out to us and suggest a teaser song. We'll pop it in there and give you proper attribution. That's how it works here. So proper attribution done, and all things considered, this has been Things You Might Not Have Heard for Wednesday, February the 16th, 2022. Thank you so much for joining us, whether you popped in live as we do this early in the morning, about 5:45 a.m. on Central Time here in the lovely Little Rock, Arkansas, or if you're checking it out a few minutes, few hours, a few days later, maybe you want last week's news today. That's what you want. We thank you so much for your support, your love, all your comments, all your feedback. Let us know what we do. As it says below, follow the feeds at facebook.com/this is a conversation project and twitter.com/th_conversation. So you make sure you are a part of what's going on and don't miss out. If you're checking us on Facebook, thank you so much. Make sure you like and share. If you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, and you also set for notifications so that as soon as we go live, you'll pop up that little button so you can watch us live. We are out today. So we're going to go ahead, and we're already gathering news for tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead and get started on that, get our work in, and then give you tomorrow morning a great batch of stories to talk about to start your day.